guys, welcome back to the S.U.R.E Parenting Podcast, where every mom deserves to feel sure of her parenting. I'm your host, Sandy Bell, creator of S.U.R.E Parenting and author of S.U.R.E Parenting, Building Blocks to Create Their Best Childhood. Here on the podcast, we address the issues that make moms question themselves or their kids, and we discuss creative solutions that meet the needs of each unique mother and child. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back to the S.U.R.E Parenting Podcast. Today we have Carlson, and we are going to talk about a little bit of mindfulness magic for children. So welcome, Karen. I would love to have you just introduce yourself and tell us just a smidge about your business.
Well, thank you so much, Sammy. I'm so excited to be here and love what S.U.R.E Parenting is doing to encourage parents and families to try to be the best that they can be each and every day. So my name is Carlson. My business is Be Well and Renew, and I've actually been a massage therapist for 20 years. So I call myself a relaxation expert, and everything about my business is about relaxation and how that is not just a luxury, but it's such a healthy place to be. And as I kind of got through many years and, into my massage therapy, I actually came up with this idea one day, as going into Grandma's Magic Pillows, that I was watching my grandchildren, who were 2, 4, and 6 years old, and they're 3 busy little boys. And so they kind of get into their, fighting over the same toy and getting wound up and getting overstimulated and everything. And I used weighted eye pillows. This is just what one looks like. So it's just a weighted eye pillow that lays over the eyes, forms over the eyes, blocks out the visual distractions, and just really signals the body to calm and quiet. So one day, and I had been making them available for my massage clients, one day the universe spoke to me and said, "Oh, make eye pillows for the boys." Okay, fine, I can do that. I've got tons of fabric. So I picked some fun fabrics and I took them over to the house. And originally they thought they were beanbag toss things for beanbag toss game. And I said, well, no, these just help Grandma when I get a little bit stressed or I get tired or whatever. Do you want to try them with me? So we laid down on the floor. And of course they were wiggly and twitchy and giggly and peeking under the corners to see what their brothers were doing. And so I introduced it to them a few times when I was going over there and watching them. And after several times, the 6-year-old one day said to me, "Grandma, can I do it longer? Can I be quiet longer?" And after I did a double and a triple take, I'm like, of course you can. And it just made my day. And so as I was out networking for my massage business and my wellness, products and things like that I had created, the eye pillows for adults and things, I would say we're really not teaching our children how to be comfortable in a calm body and a quiet mind. They're not learning that anyway. Technology is not going to go away. Things keep seeming like they're moving faster and faster. And the only regret that I had was that I wasn't smart enough when I had my 3 boys that were 4 years apart to have come up with this. But life teaches us things in the time when it's the right time. And so I was really excited to be able to share this with my grandchildren and other families, because as I talked about it, moms and grandmas were like, you're right. We're not teaching that to our children. They're not learning that. And you and I both know how rejuvenating it is to have a quiet time with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or just sit out early in the morning on the patio, or whatever it is that brings you a sense of calm. And what I learned from my grandchildren and from many other children who have learned this is children are also looking for calm and quiet. But we don't think about that. We kind of think that they're busy and they never stop. And so what I did then was I actually wrote the story. So I wrote Grandma's Magic Pillows storybook. And it really tells the story of how I introduced it to my grandsons and how they responded to it. And it's been a really fun journey. I never would have expected all of this would have happened when I initially made eye pillows and took them over to my grandson's house. but I think that there really is a need for it, and I think it tapped into that need. And so right now, with everything that's going on with family life, with COVID, with having a lot more time with families being in the home together, tempers sometimes flare a little bit. And I know for me, when I was a young mom, I yelled a lot. I hate to admit that, but that's my truth. That's why I wished I had been smart enough back then. And I just realized that this is something that adults can really model for children. So I have something called a Mommy or Daddy and Me bundle. So it's an eye pillow for the adult, an eye pillow for the children, and the storybook. And so it helps adults really model for children that it's okay to be calm and quiet. And it isn't about giving them the eye pillow and making them be quiet. It's about inviting them into a time together of calm and quiet. And the thing that thrilled me was I had one mom that had ordered a Mommy and Me bundle, and she sent me a picture of her and her daughter laying on the floor, had a blanket pulled over them, the dog was laying at their feet, the two of them are holding hands with their eye pillows on, and I thought, what could be better than that? Having time to just be quiet together and just enjoy breathing, just enjoy being. A lot of times I think we forget that we're human beings and not human doings, because I know I have a long list a lot of days. And sometimes I have to force myself to take a moment and just pause. In the book I say, after the kids learned it, when they would start getting wound up about something, I would say, okay, we're going to push the pause button. And they would run and get their eye pillows, boom, 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 they would lay down on the floor. I set a timer on my phone for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It changes the energy instantly. If they were fighting over something, or, like I said, we come back from the park, they're a little overtired or whatever, it just helps to just settle them down. And I have gotten the most amazing testimonials from parents saying they use them at bedtime, even children that are kind of afraid of the dark. Somehow, even though this blocks out all the light, it taps into some acupressure points around the eyes and really helps children to, be okay with it. There are some parents that use them after school. They would give the kids maybe 10 minutes with the eye pillow to help them sort of decompress from the school day, and found they had a lot less arguing with them getting homework done. Just because they gave them that window of time to help them make that transition, instead of jumping right from one thing to another and not having that opportunity to, kind of quiet and calm themselves. And, there's other, testimonials that are in the book, and I have some from adults and some from kids. I have some relaxation tips and things that they can, read, and different things that might help them sort of incorporate it, into their daily habits. And once children really learn how to use this on their own, they'll go and get it on their own to use it when they might feel that they want to calm or quiet down. So I actually call it a safe relaxation resource. And S is for simple, A is for accessible, F is for fun, and E is for effective. So, they can't really hurt themselves with it. They're about 8 ounces each, and they're filled with rice. And it just becomes part of their, toolkit. It helps them, whatever other things, some may like music, or some may like my youngest grandson, he loves to color with me. I love coloring. So, Grandma, did you bring your gel pens? So we'll color, and it's just a time to be quiet.
Right.
And the funny thing was, when I was first initially introducing it to them, he was 2. So he was, and that's probably about the youngest you really probably want to expect that they're going to lay still for any amount of time. And so sometimes when I would say, okay, we're going to, let's push the pause button, and he'd come with his eye pillow and he'd go, not today, Grandma. And I said, oh, that's perfectly fine. You can sit here on the sofa with Grandma while your brothers are laying on the floor. He was still being quiet. So I never wanted it to feel like it was a punishment or it was a you have to do this. It was an invitation.
Right.
And by doing that, it takes away that the negative, connotation of quiet. It isn't a punishment.
Right.
A lot of times, kids have their time out or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you know, I ordered these for my family.
Right.
And I loved how you were very careful to make sure it was clear that this isn't about forcing anybody to do anything. It is an invitation. And that's such a beautiful way to look at the gift of mindfulness. You're right. In today's very fast-paced world with constant input and TVs and video games and social media and phones and computers and tablets and all go all the time, we forget and or become very uncomfortable even with the notion of still. I'm included in that. Like it is at the beginning, like it can be very uncomfortable to be still. And that causes issues. It does. So when
you have to be patient with that. It's like a learning. You're really in training yourself. When they talk about meditation, they talk about in training, yourself into that. And so it really is about that. But this is, I think, a skill that will serve children for a lifetime.
It will. It absolutely will.
It can serve them for a lifetime. So it isn't just a childhood thing.
It is. And we've seen studies come out where schools who teach mindfulness instead of doing detentions, they actually have better behavior overall because children kind of come to understand I have power. I can recognize what my body's feeling and do something about it. A lot of the big behaviors that we struggle with are because kids don't know what to do with all of that energy in them.
Energy, exactly.
And we're giving them this opportunity and, we're taking ourselves and our egos out of it. This isn't about, I expect you to sit here for 5 minutes. It's, hey, look what I'm doing. This feels really good to my body. I wonder if it would feel good to your body. My son, so my oldest, they were, super crazy at bedtime. And I was like, let's use our pillows. Let's lay down and let's listen to some meditation music. What's that? I'll show you. And I just pulled something off of YouTube and he laid there for 7.5 minutes. And he goes, I really like that music. And it was so sweet because he was able to kind of just rest into that place of calm and security. And you had mentioned for kids who are afraid of the dark, interestingly, that pressure, it feels secure. It's, I'm safe here. Rather than the big wide expanse and your eyes can't figure out where things are and you can't see properly and you can't get your bearings. By actually blocking it, it lets them to just rest and feel secure. And I just love that part of it. Mine and my husband's, we got the lavender one. So we super love the aromatherapy aspect of it as well. And reminding ourselves, what I think is so brilliant about it being sort of beanbag-ish is you have to be still or it's going to fall. So it's kind of this constant reminder of, no, let your body relax.
When I first started with the boys, and it is in the book, I said, okay, let's see who can keep it on the longest without it falling off, making a little bit of a game.
Yeah, kids love games. They love playfulness.
And they love doing what mommies and daddies do. So that's why the modeling piece is so good because, if mommy and daddy want to do it, then I want to do it because they like being like a grown-up.
They do, and they like doing things with us, and they like to share experiences with us, and I think that it's such a powerful gift, especially right now. There's so many times when we're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And like you said, this is a safe tool. It is so simple. It's so accessible. It is really fun, and it's effective. It actually lets kids and parents really, to gain the ability to find calm. And I think that's something a lot of people have lost or have not yet found. And so that's why I really enjoy it. That's why I really appreciate what you're doing for families, because I think that once any person recognizes they have this like secret power that they can access and they can utilize to feel better when they feel out of control, that's power. That's exciting. That's, exhilarating to know I can do something. I'm not just helpless and flailing out and with no options, there's something I can do about it. So I think that's fantastic.
There's a fun story I'll share with you, and this is not a family one, but a friend of mine has really a lot of trouble with migraines. And so she ordered a lavender one. She'll try anything. And she said, oh my gosh. She goes, it became my go-to thing more than my meds.
Aww.
And one day she couldn't find it. She couldn't find it anywhere. And she's looking for it and looking for it. And so she calls her husband, and he travels a lot. And she said, do you know where my eye pillow is? I can't find my eye pillow. Well, it could be in my briefcase. And it was like a leopard skin print and whatever. And he goes, well, it helps me to calm down. And she reached out and I said, well, I can take care of that for you. But she used to say he had a bit of a drive to work. He would take it, and when he would get to work, if he had an awful drive, he would go in his office, he would close the door, he would close the blinds, he would just lean back with the eye pillow over his eyes for like 5 minutes, and it's like it reset the day. It's like it took away the anxiety he was feeling from the drive.
I love that so much.
It was such a fun story, and I had school teachers who I had pilot these in their classrooms. The kids voted for more time to be quiet. Those were
Oh, I taught first grade. That sounds so wonderful. I love it.
People are so surprised by it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of vendor events, and I usually take my massage table, and I have a little stuffed hedgehog that I have a hedgehog-sized eye pillow I put on it just to have a visual. And I'll let kids lay on the table. I put a tissue over their eyes, and then I have about 3 or 4 different designs. And so like I have one here that has emojis on it and stuff. And I let them pick one, and I let them lay on the table with it. And the parents stand there, and they're kind of dumbfounded because the kids just stop moving. And sometimes they don't want to get up. And it so surprises them because we think of them as these busy little machines that never stop. And it always surprised me. It's like, did he fall asleep? Because they just stopped.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now, so is that, you had mentioned piloting in the schools. Is that your ultimate goal? What do you envision for the future of your magic pillows?
Well, I'm actually working on a course that, and part of the course would be for them to purchase like the bundle and have that before they would actually listen to the course, and really kind of walk them through some of these tips and techniques and the psychology and the benefits and stuff of having this and other, ways of relaxing and stuff for, whoever it might be and stuff. So that's what
every family in America needs to take that course. That's awesome.
Nothing would make me happier. So I'm actually going into a vendor space very soon and stuff. And I just love when I hear those stories about how families have responded, how children respond positively. And it isn't going to be a foolproof thing. There's days when, if you ever try to meditate or something like that, some days it just doesn't work.
Right. And that's okay. And that's part of the grace that we're teaching our children. It's like, this is a tool. This is an option. And
right, there's an ebb and a flow to life.
Yeah. Some days it works great. Other days it's not exactly what you need, and you find some other tool. But it's one of your choices that you can make that is safe for you. It's good for you. It's good for your family. And overall, it contributes to the collective happiness of our family unit. So I think that
talk about mindfulness and stuff. Our children haven't been given really tools or resources to help them move into a mindfulness state. They may not even understand what mindfulness means.
Right.
And so one of the things is I've done a workshop where I had parent and child come for a workshop, and the kids actually get to help make their eye pillow, which is so much fun.
Nice.
Have them have some conversation between parent and child, and have them come up with, talk about the things that frustrate on both sides, not just, grilling the kids, but for the parents to share things that are frustrating on their side. And then it moves into, okay, so what are some positive words that help you to feel stronger, to feel better, to feel more powerful, to feel happier? And when they come up to make their magic pillow, they whisper one in my word and I write it down and we put it inside their magic pillow.
Oh,
And
I love that.
it's another piece that can help them when they're using that eye pillow. It brings them back to that positive word that they chose. And one of the moms that was at the workshop I had done, she contacted me about 3 weeks after, and she goes, my daughter still won't tell me her positive word. And I just loved it because it was something that she had. And I have had people say, it's really interesting because they have found that their children are learning how to self-define. Instead of being determined by everything out here that's coming at us all the time, all the advertisers, all the messages that we all get every minute of every day, it helps to sort of shut that off and lets them go inside. Well, who do I say that I am?
Right.
What do I like about myself? And I love that because I think it's just so.
I love that too.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish you were closer. I want to take my boys to that workshop. That's so fun.
Magic of calm families.
Very cool. Very cool.
Try to work in, make some kind of a workshop or something out of that where kids could, like maybe do the workshop and stuff like that and then order it and it's in, I don't know.
Right. I love your ideas. I think what you're doing is so profound and, like you said, it's simple. And I think maybe because it's so simple, it's a little bit overlooked. But
I was surprised at the beginning. I was surprised at the reaction I was getting because I thought it was such a simple thing. Like that doesn't devalue it because it's simple. But times I think as the person that comes up with the idea, we kind of downplay, the value of it and stuff. And then, like I said, it took me about 9 months to find the illustrators or the illustrator that I used. But I'll just show you one of my favorite illustrations is this illustration, which is with the iPods, all of the things that can be running through their minds. So it isn't a matter of thinking that their mind is going to shut off. And that's one of the things when I talk about meditation is helping people understand it's not emptying your mind. That's really an inaccurate description of meditation. Mm-hmm. Just helping to not be attached to the thoughts and let them float by and overthinking them. And it's so important. It's very freeing when you think of it that way rather than, oh, I'm thinking a thought. I shouldn't be thinking a thought. I'm supposed to be
doing it wrong.
Exactly. So it's been a really fun journey that I've really enjoyed it. Feel really good that it's something that's helping families, helping children, even children when they're having like an anxiety attack or a panic attack can help them just to find that sense of calm. I've had some moms that have kids with ADHD. My boys had ADHD. Like I said, I wish I had been smart enough.
Right.
The children will ask for it.
Yeah.
They enjoy that resource that helps them to find a way to kind of de-escalate.
Yeah. And I think that, one of the things that happens with anxiety, because I had an anxiety disorder for 14 years. And one of the things that happens is you lose your connection with your body. You feel so disconnected and like you have no anchor, you have no grounding. And that's right. And you're just spinning. And so what this really can help you do is to come back to center and find your body again and be okay in your body and to
just breathe. Just breathe. That's all we have to do is just breathe.
Dr. Dan Siegel and Dr. Tina Bryson, their most recent book is The Power of Showing Up. And they talk about the 4 S's that kids need. They need to feel safe, seen, soothed, to feel secure. And this does that, right? It's like, hey, I see you're having a hard time. Let's do this together. I see you. I acknowledge you. You are safe. You're not in trouble. I'm not angry at you because you're having a hard time. You're human. We all have a hard time. Let's do something about it. And we soothe their whole nervous system. And that's just such a wonderful approach to, really issues we all have with our kids. We all go through those moments.
Right. We don't outgrow anxiety. We don't outgrow stress.
Yeah.
Stress is part of our everyday life.
Right.
It's manage that.
Yeah. So what are we going to do about it? Like, let's find a solution. And this is such a brilliant solution for something that we're all going to encounter. So we might as well fill our toolboxes. And I love your acronym because it's a safe tool. It really is. So where can our listeners find you so that they can order your book or order your pillows for themselves, for their kids?
The easiest way is probably just to go to my website, which is Grandma's Magic Pillows. So grandma's is plural and pillows is plural, no apostrophe or anything, .com.
Awesome.
And, if people have questions, on the website, I have a lot of different fabric selections and stuff. Most of them are kind of generic, some boy, some girlish ones or whatever. I also do have some, but they're not pictured because they're kind of licensed. But if people have superhero or something, I do have some of those.
So message you and ask.
Email or ask me, if I have, some figure.
Specific person that you're looking for.
and then on there it shows, so you can do the book and the iPillow together. You can do the Mommy or Daddy and Me bundle. And then there's different selections for the adult iPillows, and those either have lavender or unscented available.
Yeah. Now, can you just mention, because this is literally my kid's favorite part, how you stitch the edge and why?
Well, when I stitch them closed, I use a heart stitch. And I always say that they're sealed with my love. So that's sort of my, I guess my branding or my finishing touch or whatever, just putting it in there, because it means a lot to me, and it's sort of from my heart to yours. So I love that
my son loves it every single time. He's like, Mommy, do you see the little hearts? I'm like, yes, baby, I see the hearts. And he's always liked hearts, but it makes his pillow like a little extra special. And I didn't even know heart stitching was a thing. Like I didn't know that was a thing. So I learned something. But yeah, it's almost like a little extra boost of mindfulness, because he'll rub his thumb across the hearts, and it makes him feel a positive sensation. He's like, oh, like that kind of feeling. And
it makes me so happy.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, we really, really love our pillows. I'm so glad that I got to connect with you. And I really look forward to my audience contacting you and getting them for their family, because I do think that it is worth spending some time teaching your kids that they have the power to find their own calm. I think that's really cool.
And I do have, when you purchase the book, it does give you the option for me to inscribe. You can inscribe or give me names, so I can inscribe the book to the children and write a little note. And so it just, it's one of those things that makes it more personal. Oh, my name in it, that kind of thing. So
right. I love it.
A short little fun story. The oldest grandson, when he was in second grade, so he was like 7 or something, in his classroom, they had a reading corner. And so each one of the students had 1 week of the year when they got to be able to read books. And so he was able to take Grandma's Magic Pillows, which is written by his grandmother and about him, to his class. And then I gave him a bunch of magic pillows for the children, and they laid down on the reading thing and were able to take their turn or whatever. And so it was just a really cool thing for him to be able to share that. And yeah, that was kind of neat. A friend of mine who is a grief counselor does camps for children. And so she took an iPillow that she got with, and she was with 5 or 6 year olds. And she said she had them sit in a circle, and she hadn't really planned this kind of or whatever, wasn't sure how it would go. And she had them one of them lay in the middle, and gave them 90 seconds to lay with the iPillow on. And she said every other child sat quietly waiting for their turn with the magic pillow.
That's wonderful.
I couldn't believe how patient they were. And so it really brings me back to the fact that I think children are craving calm and quiet, but they simply don't have the strategy to achieve that. And so this magic pillow is a strategy that helps children achieve being comfortable in a calm body and a quiet mind.
I love it so much. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today. I'm so grateful to have you.
So happy to be here.
I will make sure I include your website in the show notes and in the video description on YouTube. For those of you who are new here, follow the podcast, subscribe to the channel, and you will get to meet all kinds of cool people. So thank you so much. I hope you have
a lot of episodes, and it's all really valuable information. You never know what you hear that's something that you need.
Yes. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, excellent. Thanks so much, Tammy.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.